Welcome back to Talkin Thru Your Kick. Plenty of things happening in the world of racing and punting, and this is the show to talk all about it. Brent Zarafa from the Daily Telegraph, Nick Quinn from the Herald Sun, Michael Felgate from Centrebet. Let's have a look at what else is making news, boys. There was a couple of scratchings on the weekend. There is every weekend, and we talk about pre-post betting and deductions. Can someone explain to me, when they tell you a deduction, does that mean every horse, you add them all up, and if you've backed your horse at the start, you cop 10 cents, 15 cents, 18 cents, 4 cents, you add them all up and you're basically copping 67 cents? Yeah,
that's a cumulative scratchings there when you get a few that come out. But there's got to be some form of deduction, because
you've got to be protecting of the bookmaker.
I completely agree that you can't just lay all the bets and then everyone just gets their money back and you still get the same price you would have with the percentage of the field out. The new system that they started in New South Wales recently, I think in the last sort of 6 to 12 months, seems to be not a bad option. It's on a bit of a sliding scale. It's not just the traditional percentage model. And it seems to be working okay, but not everyone's going to be happy.
Gone are the days, Michael, when you'd see a horse play up behind the barrier stalls and the bookmakers had winded in from about $8 into $3, and then the SP would be $3 and deductions would follow suit.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about there, Russell.
The country races, the Forbes Cup. Oh, just some rorts going on out there,
look,
I can tell you.
Back the Forbes Cup day, they might be cowboys out there, but look, it's just what happens in racing. If you've got a horse that you've backed in pre-post markets and it's a scratching, you're going to have to cop a deduction. You're taking a chance when you have an early bet, and if you back the horse that was scratched, I'm sure you'd rather get your money back than do it cold. So you have to look on both sides of the equation there. You cop a deduction because one day you might back a scratch and you're going to get your money back.
So, Nick, do you prefer to go the early Wednesday bet, or would you normally wait till the day of the race?
Both. If you like something and it's overs when they first put up the markets, I definitely have a bet then. And if there are deductions but you think you've got overs, you just cop it sweet. And otherwise, with how competitive it is on race day in this day and age, you can't afford not to bet on Saturday. But the one with deductions that always makes me remind of Maldivian in the Caulfield Cup. When Maldivian came out, and there was a couple of others as well, and Master O'Reilly started favourite after being about $10 on the fixed odds. And I'll never forget a gentleman who would have been 6'6" and 130 kilos, went up to a bookie, gave him the ticket, $10 at $10, so he wanted to collect 100, and the bookies handed him 45, and he's just gone, "No, buddy, this is not right." And I said, "That's my cue to leave."
Yeah, you knew something was going. Well, then on that, track bias, when you see some tracks play leader friendly, and we've seen plenty of them recently, and the fence was off at Rose Hill on the weekend, obviously because of the recent racing, and do you then, is it at your own peril when you go early, or again, do you have to redo the form, or do you stick solid with what you've done?
Well, if you're on early, you're stuck.
Yeah.
If you've gone early and there's a track bias that doesn't suit you, well, you're pretty much stuck with it. But I mean, you're always fraught with danger with those early races. I think one race is too early to tell any pattern. You usually have to wait a couple of, maybe 3 races, because speed, tempo, the way the races run, they all play a factor in actually what the track is and how the track is racing during the day. What do you normally do, Quinny?
I think if you do the form on a Wednesday even, you've sort of got a rough idea of how the track's going to play. You can look back, the last time the rail was in a certain position and the track was playing a certain way on that particular day. So you take that into account. But the track managers do such a sensational job that very rarely are you going to back a horse and due to the track bias, it's going to be no chance. So I don't get too carried away with those sort of things. And if you like a horse, you stick fat, you back it and you cheer it home.
I'm just going to quote my mate Richie. Richie, please, have you ever been to Friday night races at Moonee Valley in the summer when the fence is just red hot?
But you know what's going on there. You know what you're getting into before you get to the meeting, so you just find anything that can lead. But I think you're putting your head in the sand if you don't think you've got to assess a couple of races and see what the pattern of the day is. But like you say, there's so much betting done early in the week now. The fields come out on a Wednesday. You've generally done your form by Thursday, Friday, and had a few bets Friday night, early Saturday morning. But there's always got to keep something there just in case for race day.
Okay, and with regards to, we talk about jockeys, with regards to trainers, we've seen Peter Moody dominate, we've seen Chris Waller dominate. Do you follow the top trainers when there's a little bit of sniffer around with one of theirs at big odds? Do you sort of jump on?
Yeah, I think there's certainly good value in doing that. Follow the big stables. I always seem to follow the Peter Snowden juveniles. I think when they get to the races, his 2 and 3 year olds, even when they've had not many starts, they can go down to these Geelong tracks in provincial sort of Victoria and even in New South Wales, and they pop up at big odds, and they don't keep many bad horses. So I tend to follow, sort of Snowden with a lot of their early runners, regardless of the price.
And what about the Waller horse on the weekend, Stout Hearted? We're going to show a replay of that, winning at big odds, but it's one of these European ones. And there was a bit of a twinkle around.
Yeah, there certainly was. There was a bit of a mail around that last preparation. This horse was pretty good, and you've seen a bit of a pattern with the international stayers that Chris Waller brings to Sydney, that they generally improve in their second preparation. They acclimatise a little bit better. They get a little bit more speed in their legs, and obviously aided by a good tempo in that 1400 metre race. Found the right part of the track. A good ride there by Nathan Berry, and the second horse, Kalini, also looks to be going places going forward.
Quinny, any particular fans? I know you've got membership to the Mick Price fan club, but what about other trainers?
Yeah, no, I do love Mick Price horses. I think he's a fantastic trainer and they're a great operation. But I also really like the Warrnambool stables. When Warrnambool trainers bring horses to town, it's a fair hike and you don't do it if you're not fair income. So every time a Warrnambool trainer has a runner in at Sandown or something like that, always put them in the quaddie. There's some great trainers down at Warrnambool, especially a little bit of sting out of the track at Sandown. Throw in the trainers from the Bull and I think they'll give you a cheer for your money.
My favourite is Matty Dale in a Class 1 or a maiden anywhere. If he has to travel more than an hour and a half from his Canberra base, then you know that something's going strong there as well. Michael, any particular favourites for you?
Oh, I think you've pretty much mentioned all of them, boys. And what you said earlier, Russ, with the big stables, if there's any money, Saturday was the case in point with Peter Moody. First start there, $10s into $4 and then $2.60 on the day. So if you want to follow the big stables, follow the money, you're going to back a winner more times than you're going to back a loser.
Good segue into one of our sponsors, Vinery Stud, More Than Ready, racking up 99 stakes winners with Ready to Rip on the weekend. And his lookalike son, Pluck, is their latest stallion that is standing at Vinery Stud. If you're a keen student of More Than Ready and Pluck, you'll know that they're both winners of the juvenile breeders races in the USA and the Pluck race. Just get it on YouTube. He jumps another horse, misses the start, storms home. He's an outstanding individual, and his trainer, Todd Pletcher, said he's exactly the same as More Than Ready. We'll go to a break here on Talkin Thru Your Kick. Still plenty more to come.